remember to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. Halloween month 2025 continues. I am the Kaiju no Kame from the Toku and Animation News Network. Today I'm taking a look at the final issue to IDW's Godzilla vs. America. Godzilla vs. America was an ambitious idea that has provided some less than stellar results. As such, this run has apparently been cancelled, meaning Godzilla vs. America turned into Godzilla vs. 4 cities, and pretty much just left a stinking turd in the middle of them.
That is one big pile of shit.
Our final issue sees Kansas City greeting Godzilla for his brief stay. Now, to be fair, Godzilla vs. Boston did provide us with the incredible Make Way For Mothra story that resembled a children's book. Perhaps one of the stories here will be equally compelling. Our writers and artists for this one include Buster Moody, Freddie Williams II, Kyle Strom, Jake Smith, and Baldemar Rivas. Some of those names should sound familiar, as Williams previously worked on the first Godzilla vs. Power Rangers comic series, Rivas on the second, while Smith did the art for the War for Humanity series that came out a while ago. Buster Moody has done some Ninja Turtles and Godzilla comics along with a series called Limbo Beach. Kyle Strom is a lecturer at Kansas Art Institute, along with publishing a few original titles known as Into Radness and Twig. Will Godzilla vs. Kansas City be a tour de force? Or will I be living in misery? Watch to find out. The characters and plot. Here we go! Our first story, Make a Mark, centers on a pair of graffiti artists doing their job when Godzilla attacks. The story is about nothing, and nothing happens at all in it. There is one girl who cares more about her skateboard being destroyed than her life. Sounds about right. It just exists, and that's all there is to it. Tornado Watch features the Zillions in Kansas City on a mission to find out how the city repelled a monster without any effort. Godzilla rises out of the sea, and they come to learn that the civilians treat Godzilla no different than they do a tornado. There's something about energy ley lines, which causes grief for Godzilla, and things go awry for the Zillions. Once again, nothing extraordinary happened, making me ponder what the point of this story was. The third terrifying tale of terror is Local Flavor. Two film fans arrive at a local film festival that is interrupted by a fight between Godzilla and creatures the locals call sauce monsters. Small business owners are summoned to help take down the monster, as Captain Roberts pulls off his best Quint from Jaws impersonation. I will say this was a pretty amusing story, as beyond the Jaws parody, I found it hilarious when one of the business owners suggested they turn Godzilla into a delicacy using the barbecue the sauce monsters were made of. Unfortunately, it ends pretty abruptly, which does sour its taste a little. Lost in the Sauce is a tale of two sisters who opened a failing food cart. They're arguing when an explosion occurs, revealing Godzilla and another monster. I think it's actually supposed to be the same monster from the Local Flavor story, but there's nothing to truly indicate such. Either way, like the ones before it, stuff just happens, and then it ends. The only thing I can say I enjoyed was when the younger sister got trapped in the sauce monster's body and started taking selfies. Yep, sounds about right. The monsters. This was a pretty boring issue when it came to monsters. 4 takes on Godzilla, with the only adversary being an original set of monsters made from sauce. They were apparently created from liters of sauce that were flushed into sauce ducts, coming into contact with Godzilla's radioactive body. However, we never see them created, nor do they do much of anything. I will give Smith and Strom credit for coming up with some interesting looking monsters in both design and concept. The artwork. The artwork was hands down the best thing about this issue. Make a Mark utilized a lot of wild colors that fit with its theme of being centered around graffiti artists. I loved the pink and purple tones used for the sky, and Godzilla did have a very unique look despite being extremely cartoonish. The eye popping out of one of the artists was hilariously groan-inducing. Tornado featured my favorite design for Godzilla in this book, as he looked menacing while I enjoyed the cross-hatching style used for his skin tone. It made him stand out compared to other artists. I did like the way the Zillions were drawn, even though they made me think of Captain Cold from The Flash. Anyone who has read War for Humanity will instantly recognize the art for Local Flavor, as Godzilla looks exactly the same way he did there. Same goes for the character designs, which I will say have grown on me over time. I do think the sauce villains make me think of Zoospora from War, which gets the tail bonus points. On the other hand, I'm not sure what to make of the art of Lost in the Sauce because it seemed empty compared to the other stories. Since it feels like it is meant to be a continuation of Local Flavor, I really feel like Smith should have worked on that story too to keep up with continuity. As is, Rivers' art is sadly forgettable. I have no idea what the heck is going on with this panel. Alternatively, there is a really wacky moment of the sauce monster running. I don't know why, but I totally thought of the cameraman's run from Ultra Q. Godzilla vs. Kansas City was a whole lot of nothing. A complete waste of my time, honestly. I am so glad this Godzilla vs. America series is done, as it's just been a chore to read. This one is for the die-hard Godzilla fan only. Until next time, bye.